Alright guys and girls, welcome back to this all new tutorial video about modeling an X. To begin with, I'm going to close first of all the T panel. I don't like that. I'm going to delete the sun and the camera. We don't need them. And we have just to, it's a basic thing I'm doing on every tutorial video, so I'm going to activate my matcap shading. So go to this button, matcap, click on here and activate this clay shading. I like that really much, so if you're just watching my other videos, you will see every time this matcap shading. Good. Next thing, I just want to open up this shading view option again. I'm going to activate this cavity with the option both, so we have both things going on here. The next thing I want to do is just to make this a little bit brighter here, and we have just to split the view. So right click, area, horizontal split, and with this down here, go to this button, open up the image editor, and in here you can just open the reference pic if you have to, but I can just give it to you if you want to. So I'm going to click on open and I'm going to choose this file here. So open image, and we're going to do this nice X on this tutorial video. Alright, so to begin with, I'm going to delete the cube. I don't need that. So X delete. I go into the front view, and with the front view we have just to press Shift A, mesh, and insert a cylinder. With the cylinder, open up this option down here, vertices, go to 64. We need a little bit more of details going on. And the next thing is very important. We have to shade it smooth, so just press shade smooth. I have it in my quick favorites, so if you don't have it, you can go always to object, and in here you have the option shade smooth. It's the same thing, so you can do it in either way. So if you have Blender 4.3 like me, I have this version. It's very important to think about the auto smooth option in other Blender version, because under Blender 4.1 I think you have on the data property panel down here an option called auto smooth in the normal tab. On Blender 4.3, on Blender 4.1 you don't have that. It's changed a little bit, so in this version you have to go to add a modifier, and this modifier is called normals, smooth by angles. It's basically the same thing. The only thing that changed is that you have now to add a modifier on every object and not the data property option. Alright, we can now just go into the front view, edit mode, and just do the basic stuff. So grab this, put it on top, and before I go further, I just want to activate here this move gizmo. I like that to see it, and we can just begin to model it. Alright, so I'm just wanna leave that in this, I think in this height here it's fine. I'm going to make now these parts here. So it's very simple. You can do it in two ways. The first way is just to edit in here by simply pressing Command R and adding a loop cut. But I want to add another cylinder here, so we have just two objects in here. That's a little bit better. So same thing here, make sure you have 64 vertices, that's important, and just scale it with the exclusion of the Z-axis. So press S Shift C, so you can just scale it on the Y and the Z axis, and that's totally fine. So for now I'm just making this here, so we can just make it a little bit smaller on the X axis, maybe like that. Now we can just select this part here, this loop cut, insert it, so like that. Then we are just going to make this border here. Then we can just extrude it, but cancel the extrusion. Now we can just scale it, Shift Z, so exclude the Z axis again. Now we can insert it again and do the same thing like this. Alright, that's fine. As you can see, we have just to smooth it again, shade smooth, add this normal modifier, and they're good to go. It's a little bit too much, So this here is a little bit too much. So I'm going to just put them inside. So S Shift Z to exclude the Z axis on the scaling. Same thing here, but I go a little bit outside like that. Perfect. So in here we have some type of, I don't know, maybe some bolts or something like that. To mimic that, we can just go and add, let's see, a UV sphere, 64 vertice. Same thing here, shade smooth, add this modifier here. Good. Go into the right orthographic view, rotate it by 90 degrees. Like that. You can just put it outside, that's totally fine. Scale it down. Like that. It's going to be an object that we are going to just bake in here, so it don't has to be a real object. That's totally fine if it's like that. Good. Now I just want to have it on all our around around this handle here. So it's very easy to do. Just go into the edit mode, go into the top view, and it's important that you're just rotating it around this point here. So go to this button here and select 3D cursor, so you can just rotate it around that. That's totally fine. So press Shift D to duplicate it, rotate it by 90 degrees, do it again, and so on. If you want to, you can just select all, duplicate it again, rotate it by 45 degrees, and you have it on the other spots here as well, like that. That's totally fine. If it's too much for you, you can just delete them, but I'm going to keep it. Good, done this. We are going to go down here, same thing, so we can just select all except for this here, go into the edit mode. Oh, we have just to deselect that. So select this here and that, go into the edit mode, just copy that and drag it down like that. Just try to mimic this space here. So I think we are good. I'm going to change it again to medium point. And now we can just go here, that's totally fine. It's a little bit too big this here, so go down like that. Good, this is a part we are going to make later on, so we have just to go a little bit more down with this area, like that. Good, down here we have another detail. It's a little bit different than this here, that's totally fine. We can just add another cylinder here, go into the edit mode, drag it down. And now we are going to make that. So I think we're going to start, let's see. Maybe I'm going to start like that. So this area here would be that. So first of all, we have to scale it a little bit bigger, like that. Just a little bit, not too much, because we're going to mimic that here. So then we have to add here a loop cut, like that. We have just to select that, extrude it outside like that. That's fine. Alright, we have now this portion here. So in here it's going to go down like that. So we have this part here. That's fine. It's going to go another time. Oh, sorry. It's go a little bit inside, so I'm going to insert that like that, extrude it down, and you see we have a little bit too much of that, so go up here, and we have this detail. Let me see, we are here, so this detail here is going to be that, and in here it's going to go another time inside, so just make that. That's fine. So then we have a big portion, this here. Let's go outside. So like that. Then we have a smaller one. So let's see how we can do this. I'm just going to delete here this edges. So dissolve edges. So we have this detail here, and it's going to go outside. I'm going to delete this face here and the other faces down here. We don't need them. This too, so we can just close that again. Actually, I'm on this part here, but I think I'm going to leave it like that. So this part, this space here is going to be dead. That's totally fine. And we have just to go a little bit more outside with that. So that's fine. Let's see, we're going to be on the same space here. So let's see, we have to be on this spot here. So we are good to go. And down here we have some spot. Yeah, it's going to be a cone or something like that. So we can just easily do it in this way. Shade it smooth and add this modifier here. So I think I'm going to go to make here some loop cuts so we can just yeah, put it a little bit more outside maybe. So like that. So let's see, I just want to be a little bit more around here. Yeah, that's good. Alright, we have this part down here. Let's go up here, just do the basic stuff. So in here we have just the same thing going on. So we're going to add another cylinder, 64 vertices, that's fine. Drag it up. Make it smaller and just scale it a little bit. So we have this border down here. That's fine. And now we can just do the same thing here. I'm going to drag it about this area. So let's see how we can do this fast and quick. Going to add here, loop cut, extrude it, scale it. It's fine. We have up here one. So the next one down here. So I'm going to add here some loop cuts because we can just insert them. So we have this little space here for this detail. That's totally fine. All right. We are now on this edge here. So as you can see here, we are going to go from round to edgy. So we have to think about, we can just resolve this problem maybe. Let's see, if we just add a cube here. And with that, we can just scale it maybe on the x-axis to make it a little bit more, like that. So that's fine. So this here, this cube, it's going to be all the stuff down here. So to recreate that, I'm going to, let me see, we have this area here. So it's going to go, I'm going to extrude it, scale it on this axis here, just to make it a little bit brighter. And we can just go up with the whole thing here. So like that. And we have just mimicked this area. So good, we are good to go here. Just shade it smooth, add this modifier, and we are good to go here. Alright, so let's try to make these details in here. But before we are going to make them, I'm going just to add a loop cut here in the middle, so we can just delete one side. I'm going to just model one side, so it's better to do that. Add here the mirror modifier under generate, so we can just mirror it on the y-axis. Good, let's create this detail in here. Just select this face, insert it, so like that. Now we can just drag this up, both of them, because we have here, down here, some other details going on that we can just maybe add here, and just inside, just extrude it inside, and you have this little detail done here. We are going to make that in another way, so let's create first of all down here the same thing. So maybe like that. That's fine. So let's do maybe the block out of the blades. So to do that, we have to think about how we can just make this round stuff here. So this here is very easy. I like the bend here, so I think I'm going to keep them. And this bend up here, we can just keep that too, so it has some fantasy style maybe. Alright, so to begin with, we are going to just put the cursor into the middle in the word origin. That's totally fine. I'm going to add, first of all, a circle with 128 vertices to be very high poly. I'm going to the edit mode, rotate them by 90 degrees, so we can just scale them a little bit bigger. So like that. And now we have to determine how we want this blade to be. So let's see. First of all, I'm going to delete 1/2. So we have only this here. That's fine. I'm going to delete maybe all the stuff here. So we have only this as the blade. So like that, maybe. That's fine. I'm going to add here mirror modifier, so we see the other side. It's looking good so far. So I'm going to keep that in this area. The next thing I just want to try is to mimic this bend here. So I'm going to add another circle here with 64 vertices for that. Rotate it, scale it to the same thing here. So let's see, we have here the bend starts down here on this point, and it's going to go maybe like that. So I have here this bend. It's going very fast down. So okay, well maybe I'll have to do it a little bit in another way. So like that. Let's try. So we have this bend here. I'm going to delete the rest for now. Alright, we have the bend that's going until this point. And then it goes straight down. Alright, let's see if we just go in here. So like that. I think it's a little bit too small maybe. I'm going to undo here that stuff. So we can just make it a little bit bigger. Alright, that's looking good. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Let's try another thing. So activate this point here. Go to a 3D cursor. Oh, sorry. Activate this point. Then we have just to put the 3D cursor to select it. And now we can go to 3D cursor and we can just select all here. And we can just scale it on accordingly on the 3D cursor, as you can see here. So we're going to make them a little bit smaller on the x-axis like that. So we have a little bit more of this band here. That's totally fine. And we are going to put this here a little bit back, maybe like that. With this we are going to go outside and we can just take that and put it in here. So I have this, yeah, this kind of band. It's not totally straight here, but if you want to, you can mimic that. So just put 3 other points here and try to mimic this curve. So like that. Good, we have this here, that's looking good. And now let's create the stuff up here. So I'm going to select this type, so these points here, duplicate that, scale it by the x-axis -1, and rotate it maybe 180 degrees. So we can just put it up here. And we have just to see, so it's a little bit too much. So maybe we have to be on this point here. So actually I'm just determining how far, I'm just determining in which area it's going to start. So this here is relatively small. So we have to be here a little bit smaller, but I think on this point it's very good. So just add other points here that goes maybe straight up. So like that. And with that we can just do it manually on this spot here. Alright, now we have to be a little bit, yeah, I would say more high poly maybe. So just slide a little bit with the points, put it in different places, and you have a little bit more of high poly going on here. So as you can see, I'm moving these points here, but I'm just looking at this line here. It's a little bit easier to see if it's just yeah, rounded or edgy, but it's looking good so far. That's fine. Good, that's done. Let's see. We have to go with this a little bit up. So like that. And like that. So I'm going to put them down. And it's looking so far good, I think. So let's see what we can do next. So I'm going just to create for now this area here. So I don't go to create a blade, this sharp blade here. So just make for now this this point here, because it's all one side, one flattened area. So we can just do this first. So put this point. So we have to put this point, this vertex on top of that. To do that, you can always go to this snapping tool, choose vertex, and with G you can just yeah, drag and drop it. With G selected and press command, you can just put it on this point here. It's totally fine. As you can see, we are perfectly flat on that. If you select all, by distance we've just deleted one vertex, and this is just merged together. Same thing down here. Select this point, put it on that, select all, and delete that. Alright, I think I'm going to slide that a little bit more down. This one too. So a little bit more curved here. Good, looking good so far. I'm going to select all, press F, and you have just filled that. That's totally fine. We're going to select that, put it in front in this area. We are going to activate on the mirror the Y option, so we have both sides here. And now we can determine how big it's going to be, our blade. So I don't want it that big, so maybe like that. And you can just extrude it back, but if you extrude it, you can see we are going to go through. I don't want that. Activate here the clipping option, and now you can't go through. That's fine, but don't forget to delete the face inside. Then we have just closed that. Good. Shaded smooth. Activate the normal smooth generator modifier, and we have our blade. We have a different shading here. So if you go up here to the face orientation, you see we are on a red area. Red means we have the normals flipped. So blue is correct, red is wrong. So select all the faces, type in recalculate outside, and you can just flip them, and we are done here. Good. Let's see what we can do next here. I'm going to create this blade now. So to create this blade, let's think about it, how we can do that. Maybe if we just select this loop cut here, and we are going to scale that in this way. So we're going just to scale it in the normal way. That's totally fine. But you see, we are going to go in this area on the left. I don't want that, so just scale it for now like that, how big you want it. So maybe like that. And now you can just drag it on this spot here, as long as you're I would say maybe straight on this point or something like that, or straight on the upper point, and you can go a little bit more inside, but it's looking good so far. So we have our shading a little bit messed up, so just take this face, go a little bit outside. As you can see, our shading is going to go a little bit better here, like that, and that's fine. But as you can see, it's a little bit too big. I don't want it in that. I don't want it that big, so I go a little bit back with that. We can do another thing. So what else we can do? We can just select this whole loop cut here. You can press Command E, and in here you have this mark sharp option. So if you just press it, you can see it here. We have it just marked as sharp. That's totally fine. And we have our blade done. We have up here some problems because that's one face. I don't really want that, so we have just to resolve that. To do that, we can just first of all delete this here, and we can just select this edge here, extrude it, exit the extrusion, and just drag it in here. That's totally fine. Select all by distance, so we can just remove this one here, and now we can just close that. Good. Done this. Down here we have the same problem, so I'm going to do the same thing here, so we are nice consistent on the whole object. So let's see if we just close that. And another thing, I just want it to be straight here, so select that and put it like that in this area, maybe a little bit more. Let's see, I just want it straight. So like that. Good. So here also mark sharp, and we are good to go. If you want to, you can just mark it up here as sharp. So we have the same thing because we just put them a little bit back like that. Perfect. Done our blade. We have here some insetting. So if you can see, we have here some inset going on, so just select the whole thing here, inset them a little bit, so how much you want to. Oh, that's a little bit too much. So like that, maybe. You can see we have here some inset going on. I just want that, so let's see what we can do here. So maybe if we just select all. Did we have a face in here? Nope, we don't have any face, but you can just delete this face here, because it's not going to show up in the final object. So if you just insert it now, you can just go to the point you want to. So maybe a little bit more, because I just want to make some special stuff here. And now you can just deselect boundary and you don't have this in here. That's totally fine. So up here we have just to slide that a little bit back, so we don't have any problems like here. So just slide that maybe a little bit in his place, so like that. So let's see, we have to do it maybe manually. This on this point here, that's fine. Let's insert this first, so extrude that and just put it inside like that. Just make sure you're down here, you don't have any problems with like that. So just scale them, slide them a little bit more maybe. And that's looking cool. So the special thing I just want to make here is some border. So just at this loop cut here. Oh, we have to go all the way through, so I'm going to undo this. The thing about this, why it's not going all the way through, is because we have here a triangle, so it's not and you have just to slide them down like that. So we have here a quad and it's going all the way through. That's totally fine. But I don't want it going down here. So let's see how we can resolve that. We need a cut. We need a cut going on here. So just join these two together, but we have this problem too. To resolve that, you can do this in two ways maybe. First is put one here, put one here, put one here, like that. And you can just delete that again. Oh, I will have to delete that. And now we have your line going on. So that is one type. You can do this, but as you can see, we have here some straight lines, and here we have some bending. I don't want that. So let's undo this. The other thing you can do is just to put here some, I would say some vertices. So select this edge here and subdivide this one time. So we have to subdivide this. So press W, subdivide, and now we have just a point in here. Select them, these two together, join them. Or maybe we have just, first of all, to hide this face, so we can just set a point here and hide that. Now we can join these two together, and we have the same thing going on down here. Perfect. With that, just bevel that, and you can just insert it or extrude it, whatever you want. Now it's going a little bit crazy. So let's see. Just do it again. Select this here, extrude it, grab it, like that. And you have this border too. Or maybe another thing you can do is just to go outside with that. It's looking a little, yeah, it's looking a little bit better if you just do that.